In today's news, Phuket still aiming for herd immunity by July the 1st. Officials arrest an Australian accused of sex trafficking, and more confusion over who can get vaccinated. Were you surprised? More on this coming right up. Sawadee krap, you're watching Thailand News Today by the Thaiger. This show is supported by our Thaiger Legend members, and we give a warm shout out to Brady Ballantine for recently becoming a member. Now, if you'd like to support us, hit that join button to become a Thaiger Legend as well. All right, starting with the latest COVID reports. Today, the Public Health Department has reported 3,394 new cases and 29 COVID-related deaths. 1,098 of today's cases come from Thailand's prisons, taking that toll up to 10,000 cases. Now, even if you take the shameful inmate toll out of that equation, the trend is still steady, with around 2,000 to 2,500 new cases each day over the past 3 weeks across Thailand. Thai Prime Minister General Prayut Chan-o-cha is calling for a halt on walk-in services for vaccines, causing worry among foreigners as to when they will be able to receive a COVID-19 jab. Earlier, and amongst contradictory reports, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs mentioned that foreigners may be able to join the proposed walk-in vaccination centers. But following yesterday's cabinet meeting, the PM has shot that down until further notice for both foreigners and Thais. The announcement was published as a number of locations are still saying that local vaccination centers are about to open. The PM's reasoning is that large numbers of people flooding the walk-in registration could turn into chaos and further the spread of the virus. He did say that some provinces and areas may be able to conduct walk-in vaccinations, but not in Bangkok, as infection numbers are still growing. The CCSA said some foreigners have managed to sign up for jabs on the Thai language vaccine mobile site Mall Prom, but those foreigners had social security cards or pink cards. However, the CCSA has also announced the app is only for Thai nationals. In summary, confusion abounds, and we'll keep trying to decode the conflicting messages and keep you fully informed on the matter. Now, amongst this apparent confusion, Phuket's mass COVID-19 vaccination program has kicked off again today with the goal of administering 14,000 shots a day to see 70% of the province's population vaccinated by July the 1st. That's the date the Tourism Ministry insists the island will reopen to international travel. The Washira Phuket Hospital Director says 85,000 of the 200,000 Sinovac vaccine doses for May have already arrived, with 115,000 more doses scheduled to arrive today. He also noted that the goal of 14,000 vaccinations per day will be challenging for medical staff. Up to last weekend, only 22% of the local population had been vaccinated. He said the first rollout of the AstraZeneca vaccine in Phuket will begin early next month. Then another mass vaccination window will start from June the 15th for those receiving their second dose of the Sinovac vaccine. There's also news today of a mass COVID-19 vaccination campaign starting in Chonburi tomorrow. Local health officials will administer 45,000 doses of the Sinovac COVID-19 vaccine to residents in the province tomorrow and Friday. Vaccines will first be administered to vulnerable groups such as the elderly and those at high risk of a severe infection. The Chonburi Health Office notes that expats are not included in this rollout, but locals involved in the tourism industry will be included in this round of inoculations. Many healthcare workers and government officials in Chonburi have already been vaccinated against the coronavirus. Now, out of the 45,000 doses of the vaccine, 20,000 will be for the Banglamun district, which includes Pattaya. Despite performing better than predicted in Q1, Thailand's GDP may not be as impressive in the second quarter. Even though the first quarter saw a contraction of 2.6% year-on-year, analysts say the contraction was better than predicted. Now, an Oxford economics report says the recent third wave of COVID has kept the economic growth stunted for the second quarter. The report predicts that Thailand's GDP will only grow by 2.8% this year. The restrictions imposed on businesses is also contributing to that prediction. Thailand's net exports have also seen a dent, despite rising 8%. But stronger imports have offset the growth, decreasing 8 percentage points from last year's first quarter net exports growth. And we'll be back with more Thailand news today after this very quick break.
This episode of Thailand News Today is sponsored by RE Marketing. This is the same company the Thaiger uses for all our SEO, marketing and web traffic requirements. The Thaiger's also offering huge discounts on all marketing campaigns right now. Details in the description below.
All right, back to the news. Yesterday, we had the good news of Koh Samet reopening, a popular island resort off the coast of Rayong. However, today we learned that Koh Larn, which is just off the coast of Pattaya, has extended its closure until at least the end of May. The island is currently closed to non-residents, but the order was set to expire tomorrow. Local officials have confirmed the extended closing on social media. While the COVID-19 situation is showing signs of improvement in Chonburi, the closure is primarily to deter visitors coming from high-risk areas such as Bangkok and the surrounding provinces. Beaches elsewhere in Chonburi are currently closed, apart from when used to exercise. Sitting, sunbathing, eating, or relaxing, basically most activities you'd want to do at a beach, is currently banned on the province's beaches. Taking things a step further in Pattaya and Jomtien beaches, it's reported people have been stopped from swimming or even setting foot on the sand because they are such high-risk activities. Officers from the Royal Thai Army have arrested an Australian national in the southern province of Nakhon Si Thammarat on suspicion of international criminal activity. 47-year-old Samuel James Norton Cook was arrested when his Toyota car was stopped on Monday night. Security force officers cooperating with immigration officials and the local police carried out a search on the vehicle and found Cook's passport with a visa that had expired over a year previously. He was also found in possession of a fake driving license. Officials say they've been monitoring Cook for some time, suspecting him of being involved in criminal activities involving illegal drugs and entertainment businesses on Phuket Island. It's alleged he was also involved in the procurement of Thai women for foreigners connected to an international criminal gang in Phuket. The Australian is being held initially on a charge of overstaying his visa, while the wider investigation against him continues. With the recent wave of COVID-19 increasing the demand for vaccines, there are now overseas tour packages which include a COVID-19 vaccination to attract some impatient and wealthier Thais. And that is why I'll be taking a week-long break starting next Monday. I'm joking, I'm not wealthy. The company UniThai Trip is now advertising trips from Thailand to the US that include a COVID-19 vaccine. Starting at $2,300, travelers can go on a 10-day organized trip to Los Angeles, San Francisco, and Las Vegas. During their trip, travelers will be inoculated with the Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccine. A few travelers have already left on their trip. The tour company's managing director, who also went to the U.S. for a vaccination, says hundreds have already expressed interest, but most who call do not have or would have trouble getting a U.S. visa. Most parts of the country, including Bangkok, the Northeast, the South, and the East, are in for more rain from today. The Thai Meteorological Department says some areas will experience heavy rainfall as a result of the prevailing strong southwesterly monsoon. Areas along the Andaman coast and the Gulf of Thailand can expect heavy showers, while in the north of the country, forecast is for hot days with afternoon thunder showers. All ships along the Andaman coast and the Gulf of Thailand are advised to proceed with caution, with waves of over 2 meters forecasted. And that's all for the news. Check out this video that just popped up for more Thaiger content. See you in the next video. Sawasdee krap.